Hey everybody, and welcome back to OWH Plus as we go over the modding features, which is actually enabled to players just to spice things up a bit. And by modding, essentially I mean you can modify the sprites that you use in a typical playthrough. So this lovely sprite of the tourist, you can change this to be whatever your imagination can come up with for the most part. I mean, I'm going to show off how to make something like Cloud Strife, or at least my interpretation of Cloud, and bring them into the game as the hero class, which will be pretty interesting. But yeah, in the next, in a few moments, we'll go over exactly what you have to do so. And also in game, you'll see this in the options, which allows essentially for you to use external images. By default, it's set to off, so any such images that you've created won't be recognized and brought into the game. But if you set it on, then this actually enables it, so you will actually change or see the changes happen. So just sit back and we'll go into the media where you will download from playism.com, for example, and we'll check out the whole structure there and see where exactly we have to place the modified images, how to make the images, and all that good stuff. So stay tuned. Okay, so outside of the game, we are in the OWH Plus directory of pretty much the media that we downloaded from playism.com. Contains certain directories such as data, data plus, and save JP plus. Contains all the save data and all the usual executables and whatnot. What we're focused on here is the data plus directory. And as you see something called mod_graphic, which was not actually present in the original base game that you would have seen in if you downloaded it from Playism, and it's possible that it's set up the same way if you go to Steam's directory also. And so if you go into the mod graphics directory, this is where you're going to be putting all your PNG type images into. So once you create a graphic, then once you just choose to save that graphic into this directory here, and as long as you set that option to allow external images inside of OWH Plus, then it's going to recognize this, and depending on how you named it, it will change the chosen class that you want. And we'll go over that as well throughout this video. And some samples that they provided here. All these portraits, if you can make them, then you can pretty much bring them into game. Only things you have to really consider is that they have to be 62 by 83, I believe, in dimensions. And also you see the naming convention here. Essentially they have a long list of different classes depending on, I guess, the letter, or the number I should say. So class 1 is going to be the Swordmaster, 2 is the Knight, and so on and so forth. Got the Ninja, and all these nice little portraits here. So that's going to actually be something you have to pay attention to. Or whenever you make a change, just copy and paste, let's see here, the hero for example. Just copy and paste this name right here onto the image that you saved into the mod graphics. Then when you go into game, then pretty much that change is going to take place. The only exception is you want to also account for this as well. Because the hero, if you use Zenura Weave, then you're going to have to make a new sprite to take that into account. So, with that being said, let me just go ahead and switch over to the Wolf RPG editor, which can be downloaded. I'll include the link inside the description, just so you can go over and download it for yourself and check it out. But for the most part, if you don't know Japanese, then just follow the route that I take here to actually get to what we need here. So typically when you download the media, you'll have a graphics folder that's zipped up, so just unzip it And as you go further, you'll find something called the graphic maker. So let's go ahead and access this. Okay, so now we are in the graphics editor, which is going to allow us to make the sprite that we want to use. So if we want to make something like Cloud Strife, for example, what you want to do is just go through each of the boxes where it shows, a good selection here to work with. And what we want to do is just find something that, in this case, kind of matches what Cloud would look like, yellow hair. And this is always a tough part. But what I went with before was kind of using like a mage type thing, going for the Advent Children look, I would say. To an extent, I mean, God knows. Trying to capture that stuff is kind of not my forte. I just try my best. But anyways, we got something that looks pretty decent, like Cloud Strife would. Mako eyes, but that's it for the most part. These are all the options that you have to choose from. So I mean, just look them over carefully and see if anything really, stands out for you and seems like, a pretty good idea. But aside from that, we're just going to leave things here and choose the file and save. This, forget about it. Don't need that. And let's just save it as modified graphic. So I will see you right back in the mod graphics directory as we go over what you actually need to do to actually get the image to be recognized in game. Okay, so now back to the modified, the OWH Plus folder. Let's go back to the mod graphics directory, and we'll see the image that we just created of Cloud Strife. And to make this recognizable in the game, what we want to do is, for example, let's copy and paste the name or the chip name for class 1, which is the Swordmaster. So let's grab that and just paste it onto the name of this file. So hopefully, if everything goes as planned, we should see Cloud Strife when we choose the Swordmaster in game. So let's find out. Okay, so we are back to OWH Plus, and we are going to do a short little game. First, let's find out if the changes actually took place. So if we go to class and the Swordmaster, as you see, we see our little sprite representation of Cloud Strife. And you see on the lower right of that sprite is mod to indicate that it is a modified sprite. Simple enough, right? And of course, let me go ahead and set this Japanese mode so I can type in Japanese. Of course. And there we go. So let's just name that, and let's give him his abilities here. So a little strength, and that is not what I wanted to do. So just one of those, two of those, that, and a survivor perk. So now let's just go ahead and see how far we can go. I mean, it's not really a serious attempt, but let's just, let's do that. Maniac mode, or Mania mode. Hard as hell, I'm sure, but yeah, we're just gonna do it, just because we want to test out how this looks. And so, yes, starting off this modified, nah, I don't think so, let's not. So yes, kicking off this modified episode with a actual playthrough in Mania mode, of all things. Probably want to end things on a pretty, I don't know, with a loss, but it just goes to show exactly how it looks when you do modify a sprite. And it looks much the same as what you would expect when you normally do this stuff. Only difference is it's a new looking sprite here. If only if I didn't already reiterate that too much. And yeah, pretty much it plays much the same, but you can at least have fun with customizing it. And if we run this playthrough, then we run it, but I doubt it. These things are freaking ferocious, man. They hit hard, really hard. And let's see here. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. And another harpy, that's great, just what I always wanted. But yeah, name of the game is get away from those guys and hopefully combo stuff straight to hell. Man, these hit hard. I hate harpies. I mean, I swear, Cloud may be in a new world, but God, the enemies are just annoying. And as you can see, this is probably going to be very short-lived. Ah, boy. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed pretty much the whole mod playthrough, or I don't know, walkthrough, showing you all the steps towards getting this creation of mine to be a reality in game. Because it's really cool once you start getting into it. And definitely a feature I wish that was in the base version of the game, but I'm not even sure whether he was the creator was certain about adding this in the first place, but I don't know, I think it's a no-brainer. And we are not really going to last much longer. And let's see if this will work. There we go, self-destruct. Now that is ending things with a bang. It's the best way to end things, right? Rather than lose of, you know, my own horribleness, I'd rather just self-destruct and take down that freaking harpy. But yeah, that's Cloud Strife in One Way Heroics Plus, or any character that you can think of for the most part. So I would strongly suggest, if you're playing right now, to try it out, just in case you weren't aware of the whole mod ability of this game. It's new in the Plus edition, but once again, in the base one, not so much so. So, once more, as long as this is on, then you'll be able to see your modifications be present. Otherwise, it goes straight back to, you know, good old Swordmaster. So, thank you everybody for watching this. I hope it's been pretty informational for you. And I will see you next time.